What up, friends? That's a number, alright. And today we're going to be taking a look at Ibeyi's newest album, Spell 31. This is the third album overall by the Diaz Sisters' R&B outfit, Ibeyi. Now, Spell 31 comes quite a bit after their 2017 album, Ash. The duo have a history of some fairly experimental and sometimes ambient, trip-hop infused R&B. This largely continues on this record, although it feels a bit stripped down compared to their previous work. This is always a gamble when it comes to R&B, as oftentimes the complexities are what make that genre interesting. However, I think they pulled it off really well here. The songs on here are grounded and intimate, and the album as a whole has a very sensual yet confident vibe that showcases many of the girls' charms. Songoma is a really chill opener. It's going for that Björk vibe with the humming and odd samples. I like some of the stuff on here sounds like an ice cream cart bell and like a basketball bouncing. It's pretty interesting. These sounds make for a very grounded experience, and the vocals on this song are just haunting. This fits the lyrics of the Diaz sisters essentially reconnecting with their heritage, saying how they'll become the modern equivalent of traditional healers. The beat getting a bit more fleshed out during the chorus was really pleasant, and the church and open air line reflects this track perfectly. The use of the vocals on Made of Gold is really catchy, and Pasaloo is a great contrast to the Diaz sisters' general vocal cadence. Naomi's verse is particularly well done, I think, and I love how the beat focuses on the drumsticks and the chants. It's a really interesting sound. It has a power to it while also feeling elegant and quiet at the same time. Saloo's verse has a lively energy that breaks up the flow and gives the track a nice variety. The lyrics about holding true to your heritage despite how many people tried to wrestle you from it was also pretty poignant, I think. Sister to Sister is more of an upbeat tune compared to the rest of the record, but it's just as good. The chill bassline is a great lead up to the background vocals and the guitar that comes in during the chorus. There's a nice progression to this song in general, almost having like a Lorde feel to it, especially in the harmonies. It's a sweet track about sisterly love, and I think their camaraderie shows in the instrumental and the growth that's portrayed in the lyrics. I'm liking the guitar focus on Creature. It's pretty different and has a chilling atmosphere to it. The fluid synth and flowing beat are vibey as hell, and the chorus is just fantastic in its delivery. It does a good job at showcasing the depth of childhood, but how it's not completely gone in adulthood. The girls have grown into who they wanted to be, despite the calls for perfection or maybe some troubles that happened in their youth. It's also a really nice moment when the strings and all the other instrumentals come together at the end. Tears Are Our Medicine is kind of a boring moment on the record. It's not terrible, but it doesn't really leave an impression. I feel like Naomi and Lisa's deliveries are what carry this song, as otherwise it's just a very simple and skeletal guitar-driven beat. I can appreciate the sentiment of emotional honesty that's portrayed in the lyrics here. However, I feel like we could have had a more intricate backdrop to these ideas, and I feel like this song doesn't really fit the dark and ambient tone that we've been establishing up until this point. Foreign Country is kind of an intermission track, but I think it's actually a really pleasant one. It's a simple and vibey tune, but I like the jazzy instrumentation it has with the warm bass and delicate piano. Some wistful background vocals bring the track together and tie it into the overall sound of the record, and it's also a pretty nice sort of segue into the next song. Lavender and Red Roses is probably my favorite tune on the record. I really dig the sort of glitchy beat that this one has. The bongos combined with the beatboxing effect and haunting vocals have a very lush sound despite their simplicity. That twinkling chorus is also just mesmerizing and has such an ethereal tone. The contrast between the verses sounds and the choruses sounds is pretty interesting and engaging. They sound like they fit really well together despite being fairly different at times. It's a sensual tune that sees the girls trying to help others out of dark places, and the sort of delicate and caring nature of this track fits that perfectly. Believe it or not, the sisters did a trip-hop cover of Black Flag's Rise Above for the last main song on the record, and it works way better than it should. Ominous vocals, dirty bass, and a dark synth and beat make this track just totally unique. The lyrics aren't theirs, obviously, but the self-empowerment angle does fit the overall theming of the record, and Berwyn's added verse just was integrated really seamlessly, I think, and also adds to the overall narrative. I'm honestly just surprised in how well this worked, and I wish it ended the album instead of the Los Muertos outro. This is a very solid outing for the Diaz sisters, I think, and my only real complaint is I wish there was more to it. Almost all of the songs on here are really good. The sounds are stripped down, but they do a lot with that space, and I just think it adds to the haunting and mesmerizing ambience of the record. The vocals are also great, and they have a good amount of variety in the lyrics and instrumentation that prevent this album from getting stale. Tears Are Our Medicine is a boring moment on the record, but it's really the only one. I do wish the intermission tracks were replaced with fully fledged songs though, as while they do fit the vibe, we're only left with like 7 real songs as a result of that, making this album feel even shorter. Despite this though, I really enjoy the project, and I'm just glad to see that the girls still got it. I'm feeling a light 8 on Ibeyi's newest record. Of course, we do have to talk about album covers on this show, and this album cover I'm not particularly keen on. It kind of reminds me of someone like the cheesier, like early mid-2000s R&B record covers. It's just not really doing anything, I think. The girls are not really in the forefront like I think they should be on an album about them, like, reconnecting with their heritage and stuff like that. It's just, all the imagery is just sort of played out for the R&B scene, I think. The text is okay, but I'm not really digging the sort of velvet background. The locket idea could be a lot more fleshed out and a bit more design-oriented, I think, so it's a good record, maybe not the best cover. But of course, those are just my thoughts on this newest album by Ibeyi. What did you guys think? Were you maybe a little bit disappointed with it? Maybe it should have been a little bit longer? Or were you actually really digging the direction that they were going? Let me know. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, or I'll put a spell on you. And until the next one, farewell.